Serve him, Roland.
He's already been served. I served him. He's taken care of. He's a little slow, but he got it.
From Washington, D.C., Roland Martin, good morning.
Tom, simple guy, good morning.
How was your weekend?
It was, of course, CBCF AOC weekend, packed with activities. I landed Friday from Houston from the debate at Texas Southern University. Big shout out to Dr. Austin Lane. Amazing job for TSU. So really appreciated that. And, man, had back-to-back sessions, one school choice, hip-hop and politics. And so just real busy weekend. So,
would you mind saying Texas Southern? Because the people in Nashville are really upset when you say TSU.
Well, it is called TSU.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. While they were there, they said, no, it's called the TSU.
Okay. Because every time you say that, I hear from so many people in Nashville or alums of Tennessee State.
Well, I mean, look, I got love for Tennessee State, but it's still TSU, Texas Southern University. So we ain't about to have that HU stuff, Howard and Hampton. So look,
God.
it
they played in Chicago this weekend?
They did.
Yes.
So it is what it is, but it's TSU. So, and I'm a little partial because that's my hometown.
I know.
So Third Ward, what up? All right, folks. HBCU community, huge focus this week on what is called the Future Act, a bill that's going before Congress that will have financial repercussions for HBCUs. Joining us right now is Dr. Michael Lomax, head of the United Negro College Fund, also known as UNCF. Dr. Lomax, good morning.
Good morning, Roland. Good morning, Tom.
Hey,
so you guys are mobilizing folks. So you're mobilizing folks.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're mobilizing
we
folks
are
for the Future
mobilizing
Act.
people to get out and help us get the Future Act, which supports with $85 million a year for HBCUs and a total of $250 million a year for all minority-serving institutions, including Hispanic and Asian and tribal colleges, funding that helps us prepare students for STEM careers. And this bill has been called up for a vote on tomorrow evening in the House, and it has bipartisan support. But we need every listener on that is within the sound of our voices to go to uncf.org /protecting our future and let their members of Congress know that they support this act. We have had over 30,000 letters and over 1,000 phone calls to members of Congress, and we need to get to 50,000 by tomorrow. And if all of the listeners will do that, I know we can reach that number and we can ensure that these funds remain available. They've been available for the last 12 years since the Obama administration. The funding runs out on September 30th. So we need to protect our future by getting this funding continued.
Democrats control the House, more than 218 votes needed, and so is this bill in jeopardy of not passing?
Well, it's being called up. Now, this is the rules of the House. This is being called up on suspension, which means that it requires a 2/3 majority to move this on through. And every time this bill has been voted for in the past, over the last 12 years, it's had bipartisan support. And this bill was introduced into the House by Alma Adams and Mark Walker, who is a Republican from North Carolina. She's, of course, a Democrat. And it's supported in the Senate by their legislation, which was introduced by two great supporters of HBCUs, Doug Jones from Alabama, Democrat, and Senator Tim Scott, Republican from South Carolina. So it has bipartisan support, but we're not taking anything for granted. And so we need people to go to uncf.org /protecting our future, and very easily, all they've got to do is put in their address, and we'll tell them who their members of Congress are. We have a letter that they can use. They can customize it, and they can send it to 2 senators and to their member of the House of Representatives. And we've had almost 30,000 letters go out so far. We want the Congress to know that we all support this. And let me tell you why it's important. You know, HBCUs are 3% of all American colleges and universities. We educate 10% of all black folks going on to college. We produce 17% of the graduates, but we produce 27% of those who major in the STEM field. So this legislation has really made a difference. It has helped us direct more of our students to STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, prepare them for jobs of the future, and to strengthen them and build wealth in our community. So this is a really important piece of legislation, and all the appropriations bills are beginning to go through. We want this to be at the front of the line, and your listeners can make a difference, protecting our future at uncf.org.
$85 million. How many in the past? How many different HBCUs have benefited from this federal? These
101 HBCUs have benefited from this funding, and the funding has ranged, from hundreds of thousands to, for the larger institutions, because it's allocated by size, to $1 million. So it's really been well used and very important in providing curriculum and faculty and resources to teach STEM on our campuses. So these dollars are important. There will be other appropriations bills that are going forward, but we need to protect them. We have strong support, Speaker Pelosi, Bobby Scott, Steny Hoyer in the House, and all of the Congressional Black Caucus, But we need to let everybody know in all 20 states where HBCUs exist, we need to let Democrats and Republicans know that these funds are going to come home to the state. They'll help students in the state, and they are very important. So go to uncf.org/protecting our future and have your voice heard.
And why is it a two-thirds majority vote?
Dr. Michael Lomax,
Dr.
of course,
Lomax,
head of the UNCF. We certainly appreciate it.
Because you need a supermajority when it's called up on suspension.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. All right. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Michael Lomax, my friend, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you for always supporting HBCUs.
You know it. That's what I do.